Tottenham 1, Newcastle 2. Huge result for Newcastle. Another defeat for Tottenham, which ramps up the pressure on Thomas Frank. And Tottenham really look like now they're in a relegation battle. So stay tuned to the very end to get my honest and balanced thoughts. But after that defeat for Spurs. Look, incredibly disappointed. It goes without saying. It's really poor, and as someone that's backed this manager quite a bit, I've got to be, honest with you guys that the lineup was concerning, the performance is concerning, and if we don't, get our act together, we are in real trouble. At this moment, I believe we're sleepwalking towards a relegation battle. I don't believe we're going to go down necessarily or anything like that. But I believe that if things don't pick up, then we are definitely in a relegation battle. We've got to remember that no team is too good to go down. No team has too many good players or too many expensive players, or we can go down. That is a real threat. A lot of fans go, "Oh no, it's just not possible. It's not possible." It is possible, and we've got to get our heads around that. And the players do, the fans do. I think they're getting their heads around it. The players certainly, and Thomas Frank need to, because it's not good enough. Newcastle United aside that are winless in about 5 matches before this game. Yes, they have a good record at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Yes, they have a good record over us, but we made it very easy for them in that first half. There should have been more than one to the good. Very fine margins that goal was disallowed for, but for Tottenham, they don't get too angry, but it's incredibly poor. And even the likes of Tell, for example, comes off the bench, really poor from him as well. And you'd be thinking, come on, you've been mistreated by this manager. When you're going to get an opportunity, you need to prove yourself. Didn't manage to do so. Substitutes not really having an impact. Huffed and puffed in the second half, but that was about it. And we get that equalised. You think, okay, we're going to push on, then we concede through giving possession away too cheaply. Conor Gallagher. And then just poor defending. Again, goalkeeper's position is just so questionable in general. Vicario, it just frustrates me. So no, it's poor from Tottenham and complete dominance at times in that first half in particular for Newcastle. I think they had just those 10 out of 11 corners just in the first half. So that's, again, really disappointing and shows how the game went. And Newcastle set up, I believe, to sit in and counter-attack with Alanga Gordon, for example, up top Harvey Barnes as well. But we just sat back and went, go on, you can have it. Like we didn't want to win the game. And that is disappointing. At the time of recording, we don't know the result of the West Ham game, but they're currently winning again, which is a huge concern. We do know that Leeds have pulled it back 2-0 down against Chelsea to get 2-2 draw. So Tottenham sit dangerously above the relegation zone. And a lot of fans will be calling for Thomas Frank's head. Now we've got 12 days before a game. It is now or never. It's now or the summer. For Tottenham Hotspur, realistically, I cannot see this continuing. The stadium, the club is as toxic as ever. We've lost now 15 games. We can't win a game at all in the league in 2026. We haven't so far. We can't win a home game. It's not good reading at all. We've given Newcastle just their third away win on the road. Newcastle worked hard for it. They're a side that's dropped 19 points in winning position, so you can tell it meant a lot at the end to hold on. I think they thoroughly deserved it, and it's just really poor from Tottenham. Just really, really poor from Tottenham. The performance is just atrocious. Honestly, I could just go on and on, but the tactics aren't there, and Frank's not doing his job. The reason I've been so patient is because I know the problems lie deeper with the board, with Enoch, but in truth, we need to hold them all to account. So I'm very disheartened and downbeat after this game. I'm usually trying to be glass half full. I'm like, yeah, we can still break into the top half, but now I think we're faced with the reality of a relegation battle. It's not a good look for Tottenham. And those players need to get themselves together. Frank needs to get himself together, demand more of each other, because things have to change. Newcastle, the players, for example, in Kieran Trippier and Eddie Howe, they took responsibility of the situation we're in, and they're in rather, and they boom responded against us, and we just need a little bit more of accountability of people at the club, and we have to do better. Games are coming thick and fast after this. North London derby and Fulham, we could find ourselves in the bottom 3 if we aren't careful. So really poor from Tottenham. It's a horrific result at home. It just seals what we already knew was going to happen, and that is that any hope of European football is absolutely well and truly gone after the last couple of games. There's another defeat for Spurs, pressure piling on Thomas Frank. Social media fan base as well, isn't happy at the moment. It's very, very toxic. So I'd encourage people to keep away and to avoid any of that. But it's not good at the moment, and the performance from Tottenham as well as result isn't good. And, I haven't changed my stance that Frank is not the sole problem. But sometimes you have to part ways for the benefit of everybody. And Thomas Frank is not doing a good job. I'll be very open about that. He's not, doing his job. He's not doing his job. He's not doing good enough. And, if anyone's not doing their job, ultimately there has to be pressure on them and they have to go. It's as simple as that. And I'm not saying Frank shouldn't go, but I am saying that we need to realise that Enoch and the board are the problem. They've let us down in January. We're down to the bare bones. And it's, again, another injury. That's the thing. It's not only a bad performance, not only a defeat, not only to get closer to the relegation zone, also it's another injury. It's another. It's just, honestly, you just couldn't write it in Wilson Odebear. I think he's done his ACL, but we'll find out more. But anyway, defeat for Tottenham. It's so frustrating. 2-1 win to Newcastle.